Now you know we're being recorded. You happy?
Recording in progress. Recording in progress.
We can't do the old fashioned Conan O'Brien or Chris Hardwick. I'm just going to hit the button and get a natural conversation.
Oh, we recording? Oh, we're recording?
It's just something I do.
The most common introduction to every podcast.
Is this on? I just didn't want to catch you off guard, I just want to make sure your shield was down, But
my wife has finally started listening to a podcast, which is one where it's prepared and stays on topic the whole time. And she's like,
"There's no such thing."
She's like, "If more podcasts were like you're wrong about Tanya Harding, then I'd listen to him." And then another podcast on my podcast, podcatcher started playing, and she's like, "They're already off topic. I don't like this." And I was like, "Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. That's literally every other podcast." Your podcasts are either entirely off topic, for 90% of it, or entirely fake conversation. Like NPR has the very fake conversation of wait, but what? You're saying the Mayans didn't have that? And then they go into the thing. So your two choices are either a very false conversation or a very off topic conversation. And you're wrong about is the only one that I've found that's both.
Well, we're staying on topic just for your wife today, even though she will never listen to this podcast.
She will not.
This is 1-star reviews, and we are continuing our month of movie theaters because movie theaters are finally back open. And as much as I enjoyed paying $30 at home for Disney access, HBO Max access, I'm really glad that movie theaters are back up because there's nothing comparable to the glorious just feel of sitting next to strangers, gasping and clapping and gasping when things happen in a movie theater while eating stale popcorn and drinking oversized drinks. What was the last movie you saw pre-COVID?
Knives Out.
Okay, I saw that at home, and I remember an hour into the movie, I think, when you learn a little bit more about the murder and Chris Evans takes away the main character into the diner. My wife's like, "Oh my God, it's a love story." I'm like, I don't think it is. I think there's way more to this than this because this is a longer movie. This is another hour and a half to go.
So I watched Knives Out with a friend of ours, Jake Sharon, within a month of everything shutting down. And because there are too many movie theaters in our local sphere, we were going to Cherrydale and had the times for one of the other theaters, and so we were meeting at one theater, but he had the time wrong, and so we missed the first 15 minutes of the movie, and so he had to tell me because he had already seen it. He had to tell me what had already happened after the movie. And then I finally saw the first 15 minutes of the movie, mid-COVID, Redbox had it for, the first 15 minutes of it. And I was able to watch
just the first 15 minutes. So
I watched this weird. I watched Knives Out in this the Ryan Johnson is crying for the order in which I watched the runtime.
You watched it in a very Tarantino way, very time gappy.
Very just throw away the edits, let's figure this out, play it loosey goose.
I love the idea that a Redbox had just the first 15 minutes for you to buy.
It was one of those. Yeah, it was like, hey, first taste is free. How about you Redbox the rest of the movie? It
wasn't even a disc. They gave you a flash drive. They just
it was you can stream it on their thing. It's oh, come on, stream. Don't you want to stream the first 10 minutes of a movie? And I was like, joke's on you. I missed the first 10 minutes, and now I get to see it for free.
You actually have to watch it at the kiosk with the sun flap.
yeah, behind you. Above you. Somebody behind you wants to rent Trolls again.
Oh God! Don't mention Trolls. See, we just talked about Trolls off script, and not that Trolls isn't a bad movie. It's just very Trolls is a very interesting. Let's take storylines from other movies and just put in weird characters that fart cupcakes.
Yeah. I don't hate it, but it is the movie equivalent of drinking a soda too fast.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of drinking soda too fast, today's episode, if you haven't been able to tell by the title that which you saw the download or stream that you were on, Regal Hollywood and RPX, which I don't know what RPX stands for. Regal, not IMAX.
I think it's Regal Premiere Experience.
Okay.
It's this super. I paid for it one time.
Never again.
The chairs are comfortable, and they recline, and it's like extra high definition, but it's not IMAX.
Yeah.
And the sound is supposed to be like extra good. Yeah. Oh yeah, that THX in full effects. No, so it's supposed to be like a nicer like visual and audio experience. But I mostly paid for it because I wanted to see Looper. And that was
you saw Looper with that?
Yeah, Looper, it's a good movie, but I wanted it to be like an excellent movie, and I couldn't turn off my like analytic. I was like, well, why would he just shoot off his arm?
Looper is like the equivalent of a time traveling movie with drinking soda too fast.
It's the Trolls movie of time travel movies.
I don't know. It is okay. I definitely think
I really like the world building, and I feel like the story was not the most compelling story that could have been built in that world. And I think that's
I thought they relied too heavily on, hey, you like Bruce Willis and you want to see the makeup effects we did on Joseph Gordon-Levitt to make him look like Bruce Willis? You'll love this movie.
Yeah.
But there's nothing else really tying you in.
Yeah. Anyhow, that's what RPX is.
Yeah, nice. So this has been in Greenville, South Carolina. I remember this back at least 25 years going on that this movie theater has been in Greenville. Before that, I think the only movie theaters we had were Camelot, which is an episode we'll do. And there used to be a Regal Cinemas on Pelham Road in Greenville that is no longer there. It's just a giant empty lot that's super sad looking. That was there for about 5 or 6 years, and then it shut down. Just was in a bad part of town, didn't do very well, apparently. I don't know. I mean, I was like 12 when it shut down, so what do I know about business?
Mm-hmm.
But Hollywood 20 still going strong. We're going to read the reviews now.
If you're following along at home, it's not called Hollywood 20. It's called Regal Hollywood and RPX Greenville. But everyone in Greenville who's from Greenville calls it Hollywood 20.
It's like everyone in Greenville still calls the Bon Secours Wellness Arena the Bilo Center.
Exactly. The Bilo Center from Bon Secours.
Or anyone in Greenville who, like, you ask directions, like, oh, yeah, you just go up 25 and cross over 276. Like, when they use numbers.
Yeah. When they use numbers for roads that have names.
Yeah. You fucking meant a local, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, that being said, for those who've never listened to podcasts before, we like to read the bad reviews of good businesses and businesses we like, preferably local business. Now, I know Regal is a chain, national chain, but, was
Hollywood 20 a movie theater before it was a Regal? Like, did Regal buy the Hollywood 20? Is that why it's called Hollywood 20?
I think so, yeah. Regal bought everything out, basically.
Gotcha.
Because
I do like. So here's something I like when I hop on the old 1-star review podcast. Is I like how Google's reviews now have like little you can group by what phrases pop up a lot, and the number one phrase for Google reviews for the Regal Hollywood 20: clean, concession, reclining, complaint.
Now, it's a huge gap. Clean gets 154
people saying this is a clean movie theater. You're not going to puke on yourself in this movie theater. You're not going to step in someone else's puke in this movie theater. It's clean.
And then the next one is concessions from 154 to 39. Huge gap.
Big jump. Real Pareto distribution when it comes to clean. Though you don't know if when you click on clean, maybe it's actually most of them are saying not very clean.
Yeah. So, again, we read the bad reviews of good businesses that we enjoy. Some cases we go into chains and that ones that touch our heart. In this case, Regal Hollywood 20, Regal Hollywood, and RPX, whichever you want to call it. We'll be reading those today because it's time to celebrate movie theaters opening back up. Let's start with this one from 8 months ago. Had my tickets to very limited screening event refunded because theaters are closing back up because their, quote, business has not been good, quote. What a great way to make it worse for your business. Will not be returning to a Regal theater. So someone apparently didn't get the notice that there was a pandemic going on last year.
Yeah, that's interesting. Business hasn't been good, huh? Business hasn't been good for you, a movie theater during a national pandemic where people are not supposed to breathe in the same room together. I would love to know that person just like completely didn't know. Like they left their underground tunnel house for the first time. They're like, I just want to see a movie. And they walked in just entirely unaware of the situation. Everybody's wearing masks. Well, they ought to be, because that's what I've always been doing down in my underground tunnel.
Yeah, when I be in that tunnel eating my canned peaches.
Exactly. When I eat when I eat my preserves.
In fact, I snuck in a couple of cans in my bag just now. They won't catch me. This one from 9 months ago. I think it's a similar timeline.
Yeah.
Glad to see movie theaters open again, but no one seems to know what they're doing, and the staff and managers are all unprofessional. While the concession counter, the manager had 2 employees beside him, and they were dropping several cuss words with all guests all around. They also could only take cash or card at certain registers. Get it together. I love the image of a manager with 2 employees, like a boss and mini boss fight.
Man, god damn. Trying to get damn.
Like this some Streets of Rage shit. This is like a man in a coat. He's the manager. He's got slick black hair. And he's got 2 shorter people with him.
Just swearing back and forth. Just damn.
You want some fucking popcorn?
This fucking movie theater. Yeah.
Hey, guess what? There's no new movies, asshole. It's a pandemic.
Movies. What you want to watch? An old movie?
We got Return of the Jedi. Eh?
Listen, we got 1 cash register for cash and we got 1 cash register for credit cards. If you got to get a credit card in the cash register, that's not going to work.
Nope. It's just like Walmart. It's exactly like, you ever check out a Walmart?
Yeah, Walmart has like the big thing that's taped on it. Like, this one doesn't take cards for some reason.
And like, there's one person posted in the entire line to be like, cash card, go over there. It's just like,
exactly, exactly. Yeah. So I got one from 2 years ago. This is pre-pandemic.
Ooh.
This is I looked in the clean specifically. Cinema was comfortable and clean, but the lobby and concession area, a different story. The place looked like it had not been cleaned in weeks. Lines 20 minutes long, no napkins, condiments or items available, and staff was in no hurry to help at all. Very disappointed for $70 afternoon. Now, I don't know how many people this person had with them at the movie theater, but a $70 afternoon at the movie theater. Woo! I know it says no condiment. It says no napkins, no condiments or items available, but I assume you got concessions. If you paid $70 and all you got was tickets and a nasty lobby to walk through, that's unfortunate.
I mean, you sitting there eating your concessions in the theater, you got no napkins, you paid $70. I think you have the right to wipe it on the seats.
Okay, but the theater, pristine. It says the cinema was comfortable and clean.
Okay.
Like the movie theater, clean. The Cineplex.
Oh, okay.
Dirty.
Like the lobby to get to there.
That's what it says.
Okay.
Dirty lobby, which, that's like, if you're like, oh, we got people coming over to dinner, we should clean just the dining room. I kind of get it. I know that like part of this is like we make fun of the 1 star. I get being like 1 star for this one. I paid $70 and you didn't even clean your mudroom.
Mm-hmm.
Your mudroom filthy.
Mm-hmm.
Your concession stand, long lines, no napkins, nobody helping me. Come on.
Sometimes you gotta walk through the darkness to get to the light, right? I mean, sometimes
right.
you gotta go through fire to get what you want. So.
That's fair. That's fair. There was a response from the owner, though. Thank you for taking the time to give feedback. We always want you to have a great experience, and we'll share with our team. We look forward to giving you a 5-star experience during your next visit. If you would like customer service to reach out, please click here. Make a little thing. I don't like that the click here is here because we could honestly all click it, but it just says contact us. It's just
we should all click it. All click it for that experience.
What if it was like to like a specific, like here's a gift card, and then just like available for everybody to click.
It's like that meme where someone posts their Nintendo Switch gift card and they're like, guys, look what I got. And it's like, oh, there's no money on here. And it's like, This is from a year ago. Went today for a 3:25 showing. Got in line for tickets at 3:10. 2 people working the ticket booth and about 30 people in front of me in each line. Finally got my tickets and went inside to get popcorn and such. 4 people working at the concession stands and the entire lobby was full of people waiting for goodies. Finally got to sit down to watch the movie and started at 3:25. At about 4:15, only to discover most of my popcorn was unpopped kernels with no, quote, butter. All right.
Most unpopped. Most wasn't unpopped.
Okay, there's a lot of things here. You can tell when people do these reviews who are super attentive when one, they keep track of time by like the dot. And they, let's see, finally sat down, the movie started at 3:25. And so 50 minutes into the movie, Most of my popcorn unpopped kernels and no quote butter. Okay, I really doubt that. There's a huge difference you can tell when you got a bucket of kernels and a bucket of popcorn.
I will say by weight, you'd actually have more with the unpopped kernels because they're tighter packed.
And you can go back to them and be like, "Can I get these freshly popped?"
Oh,
Because
come
here's
on.
the thing:
You
I said
can't walk away while Keanu's talking.
I lost my dog.
Oh, guys, I think it's mostly kernels.
I'm so angry.
I'm gonna
I thought
have
I
to
retired.
I gotta go to the concession stand because it's mostly kernels, but I want to find out what happens with this dog.
I'm gonna go break the floor in my dining room to get my secret guns.
I know I paid all this money to see the lake house, but I want to go get my concessions.
Man, my guns have disappeared in 2 years in the past. Now I have to get my guns from the mailbox in the front of the house.
I gotta go fix this. I gotta eat some popcorn.
That was John Lakehouse, right? That's how that movie was.
Yeah, John Lakehouse.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like John
Yeah.
Lakehouse.
Yeah,
Andrew Bullock is like his gun, like Megatron or something. Just
I heard he mails a letter using only a pencil.
Oh my god,
That's a stupid pull. All right, I got one. Here's a. This is technically a 2-star. Traffic in this area is awful. The theater's nice, but $15.10 for a medium popcorn and a medium drink. They have lost their minds. Or I guess I have for paying that ! No wonder theaters are becoming a thing of the past. Okay, so I get like it's a common problem to have that the movie concessions are too expensive, but ultimately it's a supply and demand thing. Like you can't there's only so much time before movies start, and so you have to increase the financial costs so that fewer people will get concessions, so that then you can prioritize who actually cares about concessions. But you're complaining about the traffic in the area of the theater as part of the complaint to the theater and saying that that's why movies are a thing of the past? Come on now. Like you got to, I mean, does the traffic suck on Woodruff Road? Absolutely. Is it impossible when two movies get out at the same time? 100%. The parking lot is a mess. But is that really on the movie theater? I don't know.
They should have planned better, from my experience.
They should have planned this city better for me watching a movie.
When I was a kid, I think I was a senior in high school when the first Fast and Furious movie came out. And I remember so many Ford Tauruses in the parking lot doing donuts after seeing that fucking movie. It was ridiculous.
Oh yeah, it's a big movie for Ford Tauruses.
They'll sell minors tickets to a rated R movie, but then won't let them in the theater even with the parent. Me giving consent, they said parent must be in the theater. I think age restrictions should occur at the sale of the ticket, but then they might not make that safe.
Wait. The complaint is that they wouldn't accept the ticket because the parent wouldn't be in the theater, even though the parent is there. So the parent is like, hey, look, I'm going to drop my kid off at this R-rated. They paid for it while I was there. I mean, that's a communication issue. You didn't tell them when you bought the ticket, hey, I'm going to leave this minor unattended in the R-rated movie.
Yeah.
You told them I'm buying this ticket. Honestly, that's on that person. That's on them. Mm-hmm. It's not like a minor bought the ticket on their own. If they're there in order to be there to complain that they're not going to be in the theater. Yeah.
I think here's the thing too. Like it is on you. Like if your kid really wants that experience because they want to feel cool, then you figure it out how to get past them. I mean, it is a liability thing too, right? Like just leaving your kid in a dark room unattended, like in today's world. I'm sorry, I have to say that.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I mean, I don't necessarily think that like every dark room is full of predators, but yeah, I mean, it's weird to like leave your kid alone in a movie theater. I guess like it could be a whole pack of minors. For all we know, there were 12 minors, and they told this parent, "Hey, we want to watch The Revenant," and the minors bought their tickets on their own, but with the parent there, and then they went to go in. What was your first R-rated movie?
I think my first R-rated movie. Well, I was gonna say the original Blade, but I think I was PG-13. And I'm trying to think. God, it's been so long, Ben. I'm 37. You're gonna make me go back 20 years in my bucket here.
Yeah. I'm Googling what mine was. I forgot what the name of it is.
It definitely wasn't anything worthwhile if I can't remember. While you Google it, I'll read this long one here and buy you some
Okay.
time. This is from 2 years ago. If I could give you 0 stars, I would do it. We waited a year to see Avengers Endgame, and we bought our tickets online 4 hours before Caps. We supposed to get our seats secure, and then we got there, and someone else was seated there. We tell them, and then the reply was, "Someone else took our seats, bro. That's not my business." I went to customer service and they told me they would send someone, but that never happened, all caps. They need to secure your guests the seats, and someone has to be there to ensure everyone it's going to be seated if they're going to get their own tickets. No one showed up. Even when I told them they don't care about us, they're clients. We had to watch the movie for the very first line of the seats, and that was a total disappointment. Yeah. There was something funny about the other episode where Endgame is like an experience. And if you mess with someone's Endgame experience, it's game over.
Mm-hmm. No, I think 100%. And I think if I recall correctly, I think Endgame was the first movie or one of the first movies that they had the thing where you could select your seats.
Yeah, that
and you didn't select them in now. Yeah, you didn't select them in person, but you did select them if you picked it on the app. So it kind of makes sense that people would have been confused for that, and they probably could have had somebody shepherding that particular situation.
So here's the thing: I said in the previous episode, I am not for the pre-bought seats. I don't like that because you're a man who has a family, and I have a family for myself, and just imagine like your kids are like, "Hey, we want to go see this movie," and you plan like maybe a day, maybe less than that, right? A couple hours in advance, and then the only seats available are not 4 or 5 together. It's like 2 or 3 at a time. Then you're like, "Well, shit, what do? We have to now split up our family." It's just inconvenient.
I would say this. So in the UK, it was common, and not only was it common for pre-buying seats, it was also common for when you bought them at the theater. They'd show you the map, and then you'd pick your seats.
Sure.
So if everybody's picking, and if there's like something algorithmic to it, so like I know in the UK at the Picture House places that they would go, there's a whole chain of movie theaters. You couldn't leave a space in between, so you either had to sit space between. So you either had to like pick a row very far from other people, or if it was getting crowded, then it naturally packed itself in. And like that at least makes some sense. By the way, I just looked it up. The movie that I saw in theater, the first R-rated movie I remember seeing in theaters was The Edge, starring Anthony Hopkins and Alec Baldwin. And the only scene I remember is there's this scene about an oar that on one side has a panther, and he's like, "Okay, so you're so smart. What's on the other side of this oar?" And it was like, because there was a panther, the reverse side is a rabbit smoking a pipe.
What?
I don't remember I think it was some like pseudo like non-actual Native American mythology, but that was the movie as I recall it. Also, I remember there's a thing where there's like a needle, and he rubs it on his hair to make it magnetize, and he puts it in a hollowed out tree full of water, and they use that as a compass.
Wow, none of that makes me want to go see the movie now. Thanks, by the way.
No, I don't remember it being good. I just remember it being the first R-rated movie I saw.
You're like, haha, yeah. Oh, what the fuck?
I got a quick one.
Do it.
Mask Police. Find a more free cinema.
Here's the thing. What? Let me ask you this: what movie are you going to see when things continue to progress the way they are?
Yeah, I don't know. As much as I don't like having to pay like all these streaming fees and the individual movie fees, there's also nothing in particular that I'm like, oh, I gotta see that in the theater. I gotta see that extra loud. I'm kind of. I feel
Fast 9, Black Widow.
So I have not seen any Fast and the Furious movie except for the first one. I know that my personality makes it seem like I've seen all of the Fast and the Furious movies. I have seen none. I have seen no Fasts or Furiouses. I have not seen Hobbs and Shaw. It's just a franchise that I feel like I get so much through like the cultural milieu that I don't actually have to watch them. Similarly, I think I'm kind of done with Marvel movies for now. I liked the 23 that I saw, and then
Spider-Man really messed you up, didn't it?
It's not. Well, I was kind of done with Endgame, and then I got offered again because every time I see a movie with somebody else, they make me a little bit late. I saw because of our mutual friend who I saw Endgame with, making me a little bit late because I can't remember if he hadn't peed or if he needed to pee. Oh, he kept peeing. That's what it was.
This is a long stream.
Oh gosh.
Why did you need to wait? Why don't you just go reserve the seats?
No. He kept going in and out of the theater because he did not bladder prepare for the movie, for the almost 3-hour Marvel movie. Anyway, so because of that, he bought me tickets to see Iron Man Jr. and which was very kind of him, but also I just didn't love the movie.
No, you could do a whole podcast about how much you hate that movie.
I could, but I won't.
I'm excited. I'll probably most likely see Fast 9 at the end of the month, and then after that, I'll definitely put Black Widow and the rest of that I just mentioned on the list as well. I'm just excited. Check out more episodes of the 1-star reviews. Listen to anywhere you're listening to our voices on, whether it be iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Amazon Echo as well. You can actually tell your Alexa app to play the podcast, and it will do so. I try to be really quick at saying that because I have one of the devices behind me, and it always goes off and says, "Want to play?" And I'm like, "No, I don't want the echo verb."
Are you talking shit? Are you talking shit about me? I will talk all the kinds of smack.
And then the FBI comes to my house. So that being said, thank you for a wonderful long hiatus of a couple of weeks to our listeners there. We still got a lot of downloads in the month of May, even though we didn't release anything. Really good time for me to take a mental break, spend time with my family, kind of rebalance life. It's been a crazy year, but we have many more episodes to go during our long this year. And I want to say just thank you again to everyone listening out there. Send your suggestions, send us emails to what you want to listen to as well. And we got more episodes coming out. Ben Burrs will be back for Camelot Cinemas.
Boo boo.
All right, we're still recording. Too late. Bye.